Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your solar eclipse in Libra reading. This eclipse is happening for you in your ninth house of beliefs, long distance travel. It can also have to do with legal things and legal issues, disputes, ceremonies, marriages, all the things. And so when we look at Libra being in this house, it can be about maybe like a change or like a turn of events in legal matters or really just focusing in on the beliefs of partners and therefore, beliefs that partners are letting go or beliefs that you're letting go of due to new relationships and partnerships that you're being influenced by and just kind of learning based on, your relationships as well. There can be also like a weighing that's happening with that, like weighing certain value systems, certain belief systems. Which ones do you feel are a bit more solid, and which ones do you feel are not as solid and don't make sense? Because Libra is a fellow air sign, and so it's about like what's logical, but it's also, it can be about like debating as well. A big part of the ninth house can be about publishing, but I also think it's like partially, it's not the same as the third house where we get like back and forth, real debating, but it can be like that philosophical, like kind of like back and forth. And so I think it's like, again, changing your belief systems based on like conversations you're having with other people. I think it's a time where you're getting out and you're being a bit more social. If you have not been up to this point, I know Virgo. It can be, and Virgo is at your eighth house, and so it can be a time where you're feeling a bit more private and wanting to just kind of work on yourself, alone. But we do have the ruler of Venus, the ruler of this eclipse, Venus, in your 10th house. And so it really says that you are making a statement when you go out. You are, really having people gravitate to you when you go out, and it's bringing in those very interesting relationships that are very karmic, but also very life changing, I think. And I definitely cannot wait to get into these cards because these cards just really mesh so well with that. But let's go ahead and get into those. Especially because it's a solar eclipse, and so the sun the sun rules over your seventh house. Venus is not just the ruler of your ninth house, but it's also going to be the ruler of your fourth house. And so there can be like a sweeter relationship or trying to work through things when it comes to relationships that you have with family members in particular. We do have the 10 of Cups, which is like that domestic harmony kind of feel. I think this also comes more from domestic peace, comes from inner peace being achieved. Um, and I think that is all centered around finding more of a belief system that jives better with you. And this doesn't have to be all about spiritual belief systems. It can be about your beliefs around relationships changing. And therefore, it all kind of comes back to you and you releasing certain belief systems about how relationships should work. And those kind of changing when it comes to possibly family or even having family members change how they feel about relationships or your relationships in particular. And being able to talk that out in a very like objective Libra air sign kind of way. We do have the 10 of Cups though. And so I think the goal is definitely reached. But how you get there, I think there are so many ways that you can see it come up, especially when it does come to career. It could be a time where you're seeing new developments happen or, opportunities come up that are farther away for work. Having to travel for work can come up because we do have the 7 of Cups, which is like a bit of confusion. Maybe it can be in regards to family members not really understanding or needing, further clarification on what, certain people's beliefs are on a situation, and really needing to sit down and have that conversation and just kind of go back and forth on understanding different philosophies. That can be the confusion, or it can be more, I don't know how to move forward because there are so many things there are so many new advantageous, like, and just great opportunities being pushed at me all at the same time. With the 7 of Cups in particular, I think goal achievement in that inner peace is brought by finding the stillness. Saturn is not in Libra. However, when we look at Libra season, we do want to look at Saturn. And so Saturn is in Pisces, which is going to be in your second house. And so it's like, what do you want to gain? What dreams do you want to make real? What dreams do you value in the long term? Saturn is long term dreams and successes. And so it can be a lot about, okay, so you have all these options, but what serves that higher vision for you? What do you want to achieve in the long run? And so really think about that, and that is how, and take your time looking at each situation, and each option. Don't go after everything. Not everything that glitters is gold with the Seven of Cups at all. You have to really look at what jives best with you and your goals to find the answer. But there's definitely new opportunities coming in. We also have the Six of Pentacles, which is like some sort of new opportunity or benefactor coming in, saying that they want to invest, or it can be like a new job coming in or new job opportunity coming in. It can also be a time where you really weigh relationships and what you're getting out of them. It can be like, I love to describe it as like, it can be a situation like, if you have a job, you say, okay, I have a job and it's giving me the money, but my soul is dying inside. Like, or I have the partner, and yeah, we do all the cute stuff, but we're arguing every night. Is it worth it? You have to pay for anything with something. Everything costs you something. And I think that's the biggest thing. And so from that kind of like Seven of Cups, and through the Six of Pentacles, you get the Seven of Cups, because there can be like, okay, so I have had this realization, so what do I do? Take your time, really think through what you want and what you value in those relationships, and what are your beliefs, what jives and what people jive with your belief system. And I think through that, you find a new sense of self. And therefore, we get the Ace of Cups. You fill your own cup, but also new relationships are just attracted to you as well. Lastly, we have the Justice card, which is not only about legal matters or, kind of cause and effect, which I definitely think, we can obviously see how that ties in here. But also, I think with with the Justice card, it's about truth and honesty, as well as action. So it's not just sitting around and letting things just kind of fall into your lap and happen. The Justice card says we need to do something. We need to take action. It is a Libra card, and it can also be a lot about relationships as well. But Aquarius, that is your reading for the solar eclipse in Libra. Let me know how you're doing during the solar eclipse, and I will talk to you in the next one.